That's perfect. Thanks very much. And thank you for joining us for this session. We're back on track now with the schedule. So that's good news. So we've got a short session for you today. I'm joining you from sunny Cranfield, where it looks like that in the background, but I'm not. I'm actually sat in my office at home. But it would be nice to be on campus at the moment, but it can't be. So we're going to run through a little overview of Cranfield University, why I feel postgraduate study is a good option to enhance your career prospects. And then Katrina is going to go through a little overview of our career service, how we help our students gain employment, and may have some insight of current trends in the marketplace. I'm not sure quite what she's going to cover, so we've got a couple of slides to go through in a discussion on that. And then I'll just do a really quick overview of the Cranfield Masters portfolio. And then I don't know whether we want to do a Q&A in Zoom. We can do that for a little while. But after this session, I'll return back to our virtual booth, which is actually on MS Teams, just to make it a bit more confusing. So if anyone can't find the link for that, do let me know in this chat at the end of the session, because I'd like to pick up with you one-to-one on our virtual booth that you should be able to find through navigating the event website. Okay, so that's that wrapped up. I'll share the presentation with you. Okay, and hopefully we can see that. If Katrina nods, I know that you can see it. Brilliant.
Yeah, I can see it. It's great.
That's a good start. I've got too many screens open. Yeah, so that's the overview we're going to run today. I really must update my picture. It's a bit old. I probably look younger. I don't know. So we're going to be going through that part of the course. I do apologise. I'm only going to talk very briefly around the short course portfolio, and I'll mention if anyone's interested around the level 7 apprenticeships, but that's really only relevant to people who are employed by a company who's paying the apprenticeship levy. So we're not offering the apprenticeships, we offer companies the opportunity to study our courses and put people on them, to make that clear for you. And then a session on the questions. So for those of you who aren't aware of who Cranfield are, we have a reputation for creating graduates who go on to have senior roles within companies, both in our technology areas across all of our themes, whether that's aerospace, automotive, the environment, energy and power, or they go into senior management positions with some of our partners and other organisations we work with. So our graduates are employed all over the world in a whole range of different positions, and our alumni community is very strong and very supportive of our grads. Okay, we were founded in 1946 as the College of Aeronautics, and we're exclusively postgraduate. So we don't offer any undergraduate degrees, we're only postgraduate, which gives us a very focused study environment at Cranfield. So people who come and join us are really keen on developing those specialist skills that are going to make their CVs really stand out in the marketplace. And they really want to get their head down, get one of the best MScs they can possibly get in a specialist degree area. And alongside that, we do have the largest amount of what we call accredited aerospace degrees. So Royal Aeronautical Society accredits a lot of our degrees, and you'll see we've got the largest list in that category of approved MScs, and that's because we offer more specialist courses than anyone else, particularly in aerospace. We're one of the UK's top research institutions in terms of how much of our income is generated through research activity. And we have what we deem as world-class and unique facilities. So as you learn a little bit more about Cranfield, you'll find out that we are a little bit different from most other universities. And a lot of that is down to our facilities. So we're on our own airfield, and we have lots of other unique facilities that I'll try and cover as we go through. We've got unrivaled links to industry. So ever since we were formed in 1946, we had this really strong industry focus. So our teaching is informed by industry. We have industrial advisory panels on all of our courses, and they sponsor a lot of our project work and research work within the university. We're very proud that we're recipients of the prestigious Queen's Anniversary Prize, and we've got several awards in that, but particularly worth noting is our recent one in aviation safety, recognising our work in that area. And we've got another one even more recently than this slide on our support to teaching in aviation as well. And we're the only European university to own and run its own airport. We actually have an airline status due to flying our own aircraft at Cranfield. Right, slides on. So here's a little bit of history for those who are interested. Launched in 1946 on the Royal Air Force Station at Cranfield, and we're in the middle of the UK, for those whose UK geography is not the best, in the county of Bedfordshire. So we're near Milton Keynes, and we're about an hour away from London up the main motorway in the UK. Our two founding courses were our Aerospace Vehicle Design course and our Thermal Power course. And thermal power is all about gas turbine engines, and we've got links back to nice noise. Links back to Sir Frank Whittle and the Whittle family and the early developments of gas turbine engines. We've even got on display a very early Whittle gas turbine engine in our gas turbine display area. And we've got a dedicated alumni association that was founded at that point called Cranfield College of Aeronautics Alumni Association. And then in 1969, we became the Cranfield Institute of Technology, and that gave us the ability to award degrees. And then in 1993, we became Cranfield University. In terms of how we're investing on our own campus, and there's a great virtual tour you can go on our website for those that are interested. But there's been a lot of developments on our campus over the last 5 years. And it really started with the development of the Aerospace Integration Research Centre, which opened now in 2017, which was a £35 million investment between ourselves, Airbus, Rolls-Royce, and funding from one of the UK government funding sources. And that's all about the integration and rapid development of aircraft technology. Airbus and Rolls-Royce have offices in that research centre. So our researchers and engineers work alongside colleagues from Airbus and Rolls-Royce in a real collaborative research environment. Our latest development is our Digital Aviation Research and Technology Centre, or DARTEC for short. That's currently undergoing construction. It's carried on through COVID, and that will be spearheading the UK's research into digital aviation technology, and will actually be the new home for our Boeing 737 research aircraft. That's a static demonstrator, just to point out, it doesn't fly anymore. And of real interest is the fact that we were the first UK airport to run a digital air traffic control centre. Okay, so that became operational 2 years ago, and it was the first in the UK, and that's part of what we call our global research airport. And we work with industry right across the aviation sector, from Airbus and Rolls-Royce to Boeing, to Safran, to Thales, to Saab, and into the defence sector with companies like BAE Systems. Now, that came up a bit quicker than I thought. I'm going to hand over to Katrina, who's going to quickly talk about what we do in helping our graduates with careers.
Okay, thanks very much, Mike. Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, wherever in the world you are. I'm delighted to be here today, just really to tell you a little bit more about the career development service that we have at Cranfield University, and what we do to really empower you guys to make sure that you enhance your academic achievements from us, and really give you the tools and the know-how to, I guess, navigate that whole world of work and get to from where you are now to where you want to be, and I guess work with you really closely to make sure that you know the steps that you need to take. I guess really as a team, we're very passionate and we pride ourselves on an outstanding level of customer service. And that really starts even before you set foot in Cranfield, because we want you to start thinking about your CV. Your CV is so important. Really, I would say that's the passport to your success. Your CV, as you probably will appreciate, if you're coming from different parts of the globe, can take different formats. Maybe 5 pages, 1 page. You might have personal details in your CV, date of birth, nationality, photograph. We don't have anything like that within the UK. And so what we do is we work with you really before you've actually got to Cranfield to get you to think about having a standardised CV. And then once you're at the university, we can meet with you face to face, or it is virtually at the moment as well, to enable you to enhance your CV. We say that CVs take 8 to 10 seconds to make an impact. So essentially, you know, if you aren't able to grab the reader's attention within that time period, they may have moved on. So it's really crucial that you can work with us. And we've all got recruitment backgrounds. We all have worked really closely with industry. And so we know the sort of things that they're looking for. So that's the first thing. You know, we make sure that you know how you want to present yourself. And that sort of goes into a different sphere as well. You know, when we think about social media, LinkedIn, that sort of thing. We're great believers in networking. Did you know that 70% of job opportunities aren't advertised and they're through your network? So again, we will work with you to think about who your network is, how you can develop that. But if we think about the whole recruitment cycle, after your CV, you might have to do a cover letter or application form. And we know for many of you, this is completely new. It's not something that you're used to doing. And so we will support you with that. If nothing else, just make sure that you know what is the employer looking for and what do you need to tell them. So it's about marrying up different bits of information and making sure you're projecting yourself, as I say, how you want to be perceived. We move that through to interviews. Interviews, I would essentially look at them. It's a great way of you finding out more about that organisation and them finding out more about you. But it's a little bit more challenging than that. And I think it'd be fair to say we can all feel a little bit nervous when we have something lined up. So what we will do is coach you through our one-to-one sessions and also through workshops, because we do know that people learn in very, very different ways. And we'll get you to think about, you know, the sort of way that you should answer questions, what an employer might be looking for. So again, you still come across as yourself, somebody who's very genuine and passionate, but we make sure that you are the best that you can be. And so again, you know, we're taking you through that whole process. Whether it's a direct hire role or whether it's something like a graduate training scheme, you know, we're there to support you. We have a very active employer engagement team. As you probably will appreciate, we have great links with industry that Mike's already alluded to. And that again is a result of our alumni network as well. And they will come to Cranfield because they want to recruit Cranfield talent. And so again, for us, it's about thinking of ways that we can introduce them to yourselves, whether that's through a careers fair, which at the moment we're running virtually, or it could be through evening presentations. It could be through more informal settings. But, you know, what we're trying to do is think of the whole life cycle, the recruitment process, and think, how do we bring that to you? How do we make your journey as easy as possible? Because you're obviously taking on a huge workload academically. So that's some of the things that we do. But we're great believers. I think very much if you were listening to Richard earlier, talking about, you know, empowering you, it's all about your self-belief. At the moment, I know it's really, really tough. So I guess, you know, where are you now? It's about doing your research. It's about exploring different options. And when you come to Cranfield, that's very much what you're going to be continuing to do as well. You're doing the research, you're meeting different employers, you're making notes of the opportunities that we present to you. So, you know, we'll always be saying to our students, keep your options open. You know, some of our students come and they think they want to stay in academia, maybe go and do a PhD, or maybe they're going to look at industry. Life is about keeping those options open and making the right plans and choices for yourselves. And again, I'm part of a team, and as I say, we're very dedicated and passionate about what we want to do, and making sure that you know that you've got the support behind you as well. So keep your options open, make sure you establish that pathway. So you think of your plan A, your plan B, you know, what are the consequences if you go down one route rather than another? But I think most importantly in this world, don't be afraid of change, and remember that whatever experiences you've had up until coming to somewhere like Cranfield and studying, you're developing your transferable skills and knowledge that employers will value regardless of what you decide to go on and do. So thank you so much for listening to me today. Hopefully I've given you a really good overview of what we do from before you even get to Cranfield, and then I guess beyond, because we offer a lifelong continuation service. But we've got great relationships with our graduates, and you can probably see a few testimonies at the back. But yeah, there's a virtual open day on the 21st of November. Do sign up for that. It'll give you a great opportunity to find out a lot more about what we do. So I'm going to hand back to Mike now, and I'm sure he's going to be able to wrap up the presentation from us.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much for that whistle-stop tour of the Cranfield Careers Service. And we really are supportive of our students into employment. And I think some of the great testimonials that we've had shared on some of our aerospace courses. So there's testimonials there for people who are studying thermal power or gas turbine engines, space and astronautics, aerospace vehicle design. So a nice selection to back up what Katrina's saying on the good work their team does. So we'll run out of time if I don't get moving. So, you know, why study an MSc with us is a good question. You know, in terms of ranking for anyone who's an potentially international student, Cranfield doesn't appear in a lot of rankings, and that's because we don't have any undergraduate students, so we drop out of most of the university rankings. But the one we do appear in is the QS World University Rankings, and we're actually 5th in the UK for engineering in mechanical, aeronautical and manufacturing. So we're right up there with you know, the top universities in the UK in engineering in these subject areas. So the likes of Oxford, Cambridge and Brunel, we're up there in the top 5. We've got one of the best staff to student teaching ratios in the UK, which is around 1 to 7. It does vary, and it does vary on course by course depending on how many students there are on each course. But that means you'll get more access to our academics. In terms of where people go to study, well, in the UK for aerospace engineering and technology, we are one of the top study destinations. So we graduate more postgraduate students in the UK in those subject areas than anyone else. And you'll also be joining this fantastic alumni network of Cranfield graduates that go out and enjoy successful careers around the globe. And adding that specialist postgraduate qualification to your CV is really important, and it can really help differentiate you in the marketplace. And particularly, you know, we like to think having the Cranfield at the front of that is even better, because of our work and closeness with industry. We're really well respected in the marketplace. So people will see a Cranfield graduate and they'll know the quality of the student they're going to get, what they've been through in their postgraduate education, the group work, the project work, the transferable skills, all those elements make our graduates in really quite high demand for a lot of employers. So it really is a differentiating factor on your CV, having the Cranfield MSc on there. So having a look at what the courses are. So this is a really quick snapshot of what we offer in our aerospace theme. So we're split into themes, and we have courses in aerospace. And I'll quickly run through that. So we have an MSc in Advanced Lightweight and Composite Structures. And that's not just focused on aerospace. You can choose to study that and go and work in Formula One or any other sector where they use lightweight materials and structures. We have a course on aerospace computational engineering. So that's all the computer-aided engineering techniques you need to design aircraft. We have aerospace dynamics, which is a very popular course, which involves a lot of practical work in our wind tunnels, flights in our aircraft, flight experimental methods. So it has some really unique elements to that course. Aerospace vehicle design was one of the founding courses at Cranfield, and that really highlights our group project work. So if you ever want to go into Google and type aerospace vehicle design group projects, you'll see some of the amazing animations from our group design projects where our students design a new aircraft each year alongside our Professor of Aircraft Design. And then they present that to a panel of industry. And as Katrina knows, some of our students get potentially job offers straight off the bat from some of these presentations due to industry being in the auditorium, listening to the presentations and trying to earmark the very best students. Aircraft engineering is a part-time course. So if anyone on the call today is looking for part-time study options in aircraft engineering, that's a good one to look at. Our new course in applied artificial intelligence started last year and is growing increasingly popular. And again, it's not focused purely on aerospace. It is a generic artificial intelligence course, but it's about the applied nature of artificial intelligence and how that can be applied in different sectors. Of course, aerospace is one of those. Astronautics and space engineering is now one of our most popular courses at the university, so it's overtaken aerospace vehicle design recently as the most popular course in the university. Some of the really interesting careers and developments in the space sector are really coming to the fore. And then we have computational software techniques, which has 4 options on that program. Which are well worth looking at if you want to have something a bit more generic where you could go into different sectors. You could apply it in aerospace, you could apply it in automotive, you could go and design a wind turbine using the skills you would develop in that course. And we've got a dedicated program in computational fluid dynamics and also in robotics. So that's a broad portfolio in aerospace. And I think I've mentioned some of these points really. You know, students benefit from this close contact with industry and government in the aerospace sector. All of our courses have an industrial advisory board, which meet regularly during the year, a couple of times a year, and they look at the course, feedback from our students, and make sure we're graduating students who are ready to go into employment at some of these companies. So it's making sure our courses are up to date, bang on relevant for what the industry needs currently are. Okay, and the unique nature of our group projects, which I mentioned on AVD, and that really does mimic the working environment that you might experience when you go into employment. So you could be working in a multidisciplinary team where you'll have to work with different languages, people with different backgrounds, and come up with engineering solutions in those teams. So very similar to what it must be like working in companies like Airbus. And unique feature of the Thermal Power MSc is our students run a conference each year called the Engine Systems Symposium. So that's an extracurricular activity where they actually run a conference with people from industry on gas turbine engineering. Okay. Within our manufacturing theme, we have manufacturing and our materials portfolio. And it's a very popular area, particularly where we add aerospace to some of these courses. So we offer courses including aerospace manufacturing, which is listed at the top there. We're not unfortunately offering cybersecure manufacturing for this year, so please disregard that course. But we have different courses around the engineering and management of manufacturing systems. So how do companies set up their manufacturing processes? How do they manage those to deliver the products that we all use? And then we have a unique course on product development or global product development, which is all about You know, it has options like taking the cost out of engineering design and managing the design of engineering products and the management of those into production. Okay. Then if we look at the more material side of that portfolio, we have a course around advanced materials, which is very popular. So that's looking at how we can develop new materials to solve problems within industry to come up with new products. So it's about the application and use of advanced and new materials. And similarly with aerospace materials, it's a very similar course, but focused on the application of materials technologies into the aerospace sector. Of course, on manufacturing and technology and management has several streams through it, and our new course in metal additive manufacturing, I'll get there with that one. And that comes off the back of our work in additive manufacturing, where we've developed new techniques that use industrial welding robots to build layer upon layer of welds to create a component such as a wing spar for an aircraft out of titanium. And that's what you can see in the picture below. That's one of our industrial welding robots building up a titanium component. We've developed that technology, and we even have a spin-out company now who's licensing that technology back into industry. And that comes off the back of our work in welding. Okay. I've seen a question come into the chat, which I'll get to when we've got time at the end, by the way. And then when we move on to transport systems, I've focused on the aviation-related courses in transport systems. And transport systems actually run and operate the National Flying Laboratory Centre, which effectively is our airline. And the aircraft you see there is new to us. It's not a brand new aircraft. It's a Saab 340B aircraft. And that's replacing our slightly aging Jetstream aircraft as our flying laboratory. And that's currently going through its instrumentation systems installation at the moment, and will be operational from next year, I believe, to replace the Jetstream that some of you may have already seen the videos on YouTube. And our students get to fly in that aircraft on certain courses and conduct in-flight experiments, which is a really unique feature of some of our programs. So depending on which course you do across the aerospace and transport systems courses, you may get the opportunity to fly in that aircraft and conduct those in-flight experiments. So we specialise in air transport management, which is very popular. We do run a part-time version of that course, which is Air Transport Management Executive, which is suitable for those who may already be in employment or are studying part-time. We've got quite a lot of expertise in airport planning and management as a subject area. And then we offer a part-time course in airworthiness. And our colleagues in Defence and Security offer a military airworthiness course, if anyone's interested in that background. And brand new first course for this year, starting in January, is our programme in Aviation Safety Management, Risk and Regulation. And that's been developed in partnership with the Civil Aviation Authority, or CAA International. And then one of the areas we won the Queen's Anniversary Prize for was our work in aviation safety. We run an MSc in Safety and Accident Investigation. However, what we do with that course, and it's not for undergrads moving straight into MScs, it's for people with some level of industry experience. And we basically train accident investigators from around the world, whether it's in aircraft accident investigation, marine or rail safety, and it even branches off into other sectors. But you can't just jump into that straight as an undergrad application. We have to go through the short course route for credit and then build up to the MSc. So it's those for experience who might be looking for a career change or are really interested in safety and accident investigation techniques. And we use our airfield for that. We run mock simulations of air crashes, where you'll be called up at 2 a.m. in the morning in the middle of January and get called to investigate an accident, and we'll have actors coming in pretending to be press and journalists. So we recreate an actual accident investigation scene on our airfield to really learn the techniques in that area. And then our popular course on safety and human factors in aviation. Okay, so I think that's a real, I've gone through that so quickly. I'm sure you're going to have some questions for me. You can have a look at Cranfield and our virtual tour. So you can get inside some of our labs, some of our teaching facilities, because we can't show you around campus at the moment. And you'll also get more of an insight if you join our open day, where I believe they live broadcast from some of our facilities during that open day.
So thank you both for that really interesting talk and introducing us to postgraduate study at Cranfield. So just want to again express my thanks from all the staff at the Society, and do go and check out all of their on-demand content underneath their exhibitor profile. Thank you all ever so much. Thanks.